guys, I wanted to make this quick video to help you learn how to do APA references so we can avoid you missing points for not doing something specific. Okay, first of all, I wanted to talk to you about the in-text citations. Here's a paper I'm currently working on. This might be a little harder to read. Let me try to double space this. Okay, so your paper is supposed to be double spaced. The entire paper should be double spaced. You should click under the spacing. You should make sure you do not add space between paragraphs for the whole paper. You should also make sure window orphan control is unchecked. This will help spacing issues tremendously. Okay, first of all, if you have a signal phrase, this is one way to do an in-text citation. Okay, there was one author for this paper, so there's only one person here. So you have the person's last name and the year. So this person, 1973, suggested, and then I gave the information. Now, there's also an additional way to add these authors to your paper is to use the citation at the end. So once you've stated what they've stated, you put the citation here. But you're not going to use any quotes in your paper, by the way. So it should all be paraphrased, and you need to make sure that it's paraphrased enough to where it's still not plagiarism. Just because you change like 3 or 4 words does not make it not plagiarism. Okay, so be wary of that. So this is the first citation I have in this sentence. I have a second citation at the end for a different article, because this information pertains to this person, this article. This information pertains to this article. So you do not put both of these at the end, because they are both not referring to both things. I hope that makes sense. If you have any questions about that, let me know. Okay. I also wanted to talk to you about your reference page quickly. I'm going to try to do this as quickly as possible. Okay. So here's my references so far for this particular paper. The first citation I want to talk to you about is first of all, notice these all have a hanging indent, which you will find here under the spacing, line spacing options, and have hanging here. Okay, hanging. This is what it should be. So hanging indent is throughout this whole entire reference page, right? 1/2 inch. And I don't have space between paragraphs here, and I also have orphan control unchecked. Sorry, I'm doing laundry. This is crazy. My dryer makes music. Okay. So the first article I want to talk to you about specifically is this Heedy and Renninger. I have the article right here. Okay. And this is actually just a theory paper. They didn't test anything in this. They just proposed a theory of interest. So you'll notice there's no method section. It just has a ton of literature cited within the paper. And they're basically posing an argument for this model of interest. Okay, so first note that I have my authors. So Heedy, Susan, I have the first initial, and Renninger, K.A., because they have the middle name here. Okay, 2006, you find the information in here. 4-phase model of interest development. Notice that in the article, every single word is capitalized here, but you don't do that here. You only need to capitalize something other than the first letter if, let's say, there's a colon. If you have a colon like here, I would capitalize the next letter. You also would capitalize like proper nouns such as American or Canadian. You would capitalize those. Or in this case, this is the name of a specific measure or specific things. That's okay to leave capitalized if that's the way they portray it within the article, because it's kind of like a name of something. Hope that makes sense. All right. So the journal is Educational Psychologist. Notice that's capitalized, but I only capitalized the first letter, even though this was all in caps, because you don't necessarily put it how it is in the article. You're putting it how it is in APA. Okay. So this is the volume number, and notice that both the journal name and the volume number are italicized. All right, and the volume number is right here. Luckily, they even have it set up exactly like I need it, except for the capitalization here. And then this too is the issue number, and the page numbers are 111 to 127. If you can't find the specific range of page numbers, you can also look on the pages, right? So there's no page number here. It's the first page, but this is 112, so you know it starts at 111, and you know you do not count this. You just count the last page of the actual article, so 127. So that's how you would cite this one in APA. I didn't see a DOI number, Digital Object Identifier, but there may be one, and they just don't have it on this document. I didn't include it because it wasn't there. That's not as important, but if it's there, you need to include it. And they may also have like a link that has the DOI in it. That's okay to include like that, but notice I do not have retrieved from and the library website type page. I do not want the retrieved from information. All the articles that you're going to be using are journal articles. I don't need any other information than what I have been putting in mine. I hope that makes sense. So notice that I have, like, here's one with the DOI. And I'm actually going to show you this one too, but I'm going to work through it. So let me find it. So if I am, let's say I want to put a citation in now. So it would go here because I've already included it. So it will go here, because I have another Lindenbrink article. So if I'm wanting to do a citation, the first thing I do is I look for the author's names. This is how people find the information within a list, because they know that this is going to be in alphabetical order. And if you have multiple authors or multiple works by the same author, you go by the year, making the oldest first. But in this case, there's different lists of authors. So Lindenbrink Garcia is the same, but Patel here and Pugh here. So you would put Patel first. Hope that makes sense, even though this was 2013 and this was 2012. All right, so Lindenbrink Garcia. Sorry, I'm doing this from home, so you're going to hear my laundry, and you'll also probably hear my dogs if they start making noise. Patel, and I think it's EA. Yeah, Erica Patel. So I put EA because it's Erica A. Patel, and Emily E. Messersmith. So I would put the ampersand, Messersmith, E, and then the year. And this was 2013, I believe. 2013. So I would add the year here. And then I put the title. So luckily, they do not have this in an incorrect form for me to add it. Sometimes, if the title's all caps, you still do not put all caps here, okay? So, antecedents, in consequences, and I'll show you the beauty of having the hanging indent. So it automatically puts your citation with a hanging indent rather than you having to try to put a space here. Consequences of situational interest. And then the journal name. So right now I have track changes on, so it's going to put information over here, so I apologize. But British Journal of Educational Psychology, so that goes here. And notice that I'm capitalizing every word in this. So British Journal, except for of, obviously that's going to be capitalized. Educational Psychology. I do not put that in caps, even if it's in caps over here. And then this one only has the volume number. So 83, and then 591 to 614. And that is not in italics. There we go. See if they have a DOI, and they do. So the DOI is at the bottom. So DOI 10.1111. And then I think there's a slash, but slash J.2044, slash J.2044. You could copy and paste this, but I'm just trying to show you. Here, let's see if I can. Sometimes this is the problem with copy and pasting. Let's see if it does it in the format. See, paste and match formatting is helpful, so I could do that. And then it's already in my format, which is good. But, okay, sometimes it'll, depending on the type of reference, it does it really weirdly, even if I put paste and match formatting. But this is how you would cite this specific reference. Notice that if there is an issue number, you have the issue number in parentheses, you still have all of this part capitalized, the journal and the volume number, and then the issue number comes after. So I hope this was helpful. I already had this cited, so I'm going to delete it. But I hope this was helpful. If you have any other questions, comments, or concerns, please let me know. I wanted to note to you guys, be careful. Like typically in newer articles that use APA, the citations at the end are okay to follow, but it's not necessarily always the case, because sometimes the journals that you're citing from are in a different style and you just don't realize it because it's still very technical. So unless you are 100% sure that your journal is using APA style, don't try to replicate what they did.